That one did tick Wolf off. And Codrick is going to get locked up. Wolf is not enough. You're done. You got to be careful when you mess in the Tiger's cage, young man.
All right, folks, we are back here at BET Wrestling. Here we are, dude. We have a lot to talk about. We have a recap of Friday night's matches, and we're going to look ahead as well.
Big week.
But first, I think you owe Mr. Spencer Lee an apology from this last episode. Do you not? You said he was going to lose. That man came out and decked the number 3 guy in about 30 seconds.
Okay. You want me to say this? I'll say it. Spencer's pretty good. A little more one-dimensional than I like. We got the dump, we got the head lever, we got the tilt. We got the dump, we got the head lever, we got the tilt. We got the dump, we got the head lever. Can someone figure that out? Why should Spencer change it? No one's stopping it.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Whew. Yeah, Spencer's good.
All right, on that note, why don't we just quickly recap the matches from Friday night? We had some big matches out there, folks. Penn State, Iowa, domination across the board. What happened?
Yeah. I guess that's the 2 best teams. There's no doubt about it. I mean, and let me just say, you guys can tell by the shirt I wear or whatever, I'm a homer. I'm a Penn State homer. I do respect and like all wrestlers. The team I dislike the most is the team you could say I love the most. Well, this year I love Iowa to no end. Let me tell you. A couple years back it was Ohio State.
I remember that.
Next year it's probably going to be Missouri and Iowa State.
Bold predictions in the future.
Missouri is going to be.
All right, a couple highlights from the matches I want to spotlight. You mentioned last week the preview of the Levi Haynes, and I was mentioning about them young guns for Penn State clearing that last ledge. Daggone, if Facundo and Levi Haynes didn't come out and beat 2 All-Americans, high-placing All-Americans, and very tough wrestlers, both of them, Amin and Will Levon. So, wow. I called Levi over Will Levon. I saw that coming. He's aggressive. He had a good game plan. I liked his game plan. It was not as aggressive as I've seen in the past, but it was smart. Yeah, Will Levon is tough to score on. Levi found a way.
Yeah, and I mean, today, Levi's got another tough guy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bear Claw today and we don't find out about Levi's red shirt until the Iowa match. I think it's pretty obvious you got to pull the red shirt. But I tell you, this Penn State Iowa, folks, it just doesn't get any better than that. I think back. You remember that time I locked you and all the kids down in the basement? Penn State was wrestling Iowa that night. Or the time his car broke down and I made him walk 10 miles home. That's right. Penn State and Iowa was on. I'm just kidding. Look, big, huge match. By the way, while Kale's at Penn State, it's 5-5. Brands and Kale. Now, so this will break the tie. I won't mention the fact that 2019 when Brands wouldn't wrestle Kale, that, Kale was loaded for bear that year.
Loaded for bear.
Yeah, and the Big Ten didn't have the 2 scheduled. Usually they use an non-league date to wrestle each other, but not that year. Brands said, no mas.
A couple things before we move on. Kirk Levitt did not look good. That was concerning. Paris, domination, dude.
Domination? What?
Domination. Kirk Levitt never had a chance at any of those shot attempts.
Oh, well, this sounds too much like an excuse, so I'm not going to say it. He had the flu. No, Kirk Levitt didn't. You could tell when he was running out, he didn't feel that good. Now, Paris did nothing to beat Kirk Levitt. Kirk Levitt beat Kirk Levitt. Kirk Levitt had this horrible shot. He's on his stomach. Paris swings around back to get the 2. That was the match. Am I worried about Kirk Levitt? Kale said it in his little interview afterwards. He says, we're going to, few little things to tweak. We'll be good to go.
Well, what else is he gonna say?
Well,
obviously you got a couple things to tweak. Boy just lost. You better be tweaking a lot. He didn't score any points.
When Kale says that, be worried. I've never read. Be worried. I'm telling you.
I'll tell you one thing I didn't like about Kale. That Levi Haynes match, that point, they challenged it. Where is Kale? Kale's sitting passively on the bench. I tell you who's not sitting passively on the bench when something like that happens. Tom Brands. Tom Brands is going to be in that rest space, dude. Brands. Are you kidding me? Ain't no way Tom Brands lets that call get overturned. Now, Levi did go on and win in overtime, so it don't matter. Look, but it could have mattered. Where is Kale? He's sitting around, he's playing with the fingernails. Oh, everyone loves when he's all calm and cool and collected when they're winning. But when we need him to stand up and be a little Tom Brands, where is he?
Dude, it's a mindset. We're not at Windows 1 anymore. We're at Windows 11. Kale's got Windows 11 going on. Things are laid back. See, you whenever you think about who's one of the best conditioned teams out there, if anybody in the world says, not Penn State. Penn State's in there. They never seem to get tired, and you think, well, they must work harder than anybody else. I don't think so. If you're asking me, it's like Max Mirren said, we're the best conditioned team in the country. I believe him. I believe Iowa probably works harder than Penn State and anybody else. So what is making Iowa seem tired and lose all these close matches this year? It's a mindset. It's like
pressure.
Yeah, the anxiety, the pressure, that kind of stuff wears you down. And with Kale, they say he never even mentions winning championships or winning or losing. It's always about gratitude and enjoying the opportunity you're provided. And you say, gratitude? How in the world does gratitude have anything to do with wrestling? Well, if you think into that a little bit, it all kind of connects. And I'll tell you, that whole team, they understand. It's like Kirklevitt said. He says, they said, are you get nervous or something? He says, what? Nervous? He says, this is a game. What? This isn't even important stuff. This is just a game. I don't think
I do like that mindset. The other thing I'll say to that is I listened to a Levi Haynes interview. He talked about just his breathing, how much...
Yes.
Kale has helped his breathing. I'll say this. I mean, I watched that RBY match. RBY's in the third period. His mouth's closed. It looked like he just woke up from a nap. I thought, he's not even breathing. He's not even sweating.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
You never worry, I hope my Penn State guy doesn't wear out. And, I bust on Iowa, but it's not Iowa. It's whoever the biggest threat to Penn State is. That's the team that.
Well, let's go off that. So we're talking about Iowa, and you have said they traditionally are not living up to these expectations. So, with that being said, how does Iowa live up to the expectations this year?
Well, I mean, you have to understand, people. I would change Carver. You say, what? Change Carver? That's the greatest place in the world to wrestle. No one likes to go to wrestle there. It's so hard to win at Carver. Look, they got Carver trained to be yelling, stalling, stalling, stalling. Look, they have a trophy right out front that it's here. I don't like it's
statue.
Please penalize my opponent so we might win. Please, that's weird. That's a little weird, isn't it? I would change that. If I was Tom Brands, I would go out to that trophy. I would put a sign on that trophy and tell my crowd at Carver, yell for stalling against our guys. Because Brands has been trying to talk them into shooting for a decade now. And how many of Iowa's guys are just plow forward, no shot, plow forward. Where's that stall call? Where's that stall call? I need that. Come on, folks. Plowing forward, no shooting, no scoring. And I know Brands, I know I can tell Brands is frustrated by it too, but and of course Spencer is out there tearing it up. How many years has Spencer been around? Is this year 8, 9, 10?
It feels like it.
Gee, my netty!
Like it.
Dang good riddance,
Spencer. 7th-year senior.
By the way, Spencer was my second favorite high school wrestler of all time, right behind Kerry Colott. And that day, I remember seeing the interview where he announces he's going to Iowa. My heart broke. My heart just broke.
Imagine how good he would be if he was at Penn State.
Oh,
I said it! Did I say it? Oh, my goodness. All right, moving on. You want to touch on the announcing?
I love all the announcers. They bring energy, excitement. I love Shane Sparks. I love all the ESPN guys, Jim Gibbons and all the Big Ten guys. I even like Rockfin's Cliff Fretwell. I like that guy. Very knowledgeable. I like Flo's crew. Flo, especially like Bader and Christian. I like how they put energy into it. You get to some of these individual team announcers. Smith scores a takedown. There's 15 seconds to go. What? What are you doing that job for? Go work the clock or something. Please. How about a little energy and excitement if you're going to be behind that mic? For the most part, I absolutely love the announcing that's going on. Wrestling is growing, and a lot of it has to do with the excitement behind these announcers.
Who has the best announcer in the game?
For me, Jeff Ironhead Byers. In fact, our show opens
Welcome to the intro. Yep.
I'm telling you, that guy is just awesome. I kid you not. I'll watch the matches, and then I'll be driving the truck, and I'll turn on the Penn State audio just to hear Byers because he's so fun to listen to. And by the way, I'm feeling a cough coming on, and if it gets worse by Friday, I'll be using a sick day. But that's just...
All right, one thing I want to mention. Last week, you had mentioned your top 3 pound for pound as Spencer Lee, Aaron Brooks, and Yanni. Now, I have to say, does that top 3 still hold true today? Because I have a much different feeling on my rankings.
Starachi's so sound, but Aaron Brooks, I got to stick with that. The thing is Yanni, that was such an ugly match against Gomez, but Yanni is so smart. It's going to be interesting to see him and Gomez go at it again because Yanni's going to have a specific game plan. Could Gomez beat him again? Yeah. Yeah, Gomez is the real deal. But we're going to see.
Getting better?
I think so. It's like, look at him at the World Championships. He took a beating from that Iranian, and then they went to the World Cup just recently, and Yanni closed the gap on him. Yanni's right there with that guy.
So you're still holding Spencer, Brooks, Yanni, your top 3 pound for pound.
Yeah, I think so.
I have to disagree. I think right now, after what Spencer Lee did, I don't know how you can argue him number 1. But I'll tell you my 2 that I can guarantee you are not losing this year, and that is my number 2, Carter Starachi, and my number 3, RBY. They are not losing this year. There is no one. Carter Starachi is here. Competition is here. And that's the same with RBY. And I wish we could get an RBY Spencer Lee matchup. How do we make that happen? Because that would be dynamite.
We're going to learn a lot about Spencer. The whole thing, this match coming up, you see a lot of things on the internet. Well, why wouldn't Brands move Spencer up to take on RBY?
Yeah.
They may be able to throw a guy out there to get 3 points against Steen. Spencer beat RBY. Well, that could blow up in Brand's face. I personally don't think... I think Spencer would have a fit taking down RBY. You can avoid being down underneath the guy, like you say, could Spencer turn RBY? Well, if you go off of what we're seeing, probably. But maybe not. RBY could choose on his feet. Spencer would have to actually choose top. You don't actually see him do that much because he thinks he can get out. And I'll tell you, I don't think he can get out from RBY. RBY is one of the...
very much improved on top.
Oh, he's tough on top.
Why don't we run into what everyone's waiting for, folks? Iowa, Penn State, this Friday. What's going to happen?
First off, why won't Brands move Spencer up? He doesn't need to win. Iowa can beat Penn State.
Coming from a Penn State homer, how does that happen?
the one factor I don't take into mind is Kale. Every time I say Penn State could lose this match, I forgot Kale's here. Kale always seems to have the guys up for the big matches, and that's just a fact for the past decade. If you want to be impressed, go look at Kale's past decade's record in the semifinals and the finals. It will blow you away. It's like, that can't be real. At this point, you can't call it a fluke. It's a system. Right off the bat, of course, Spencer, you can say 6. It's going to be tough to get the pin when you're forced wanting to get the pin.
I don't know. We just decked the number 3, dude.
That's true.
I'm giving him 6. Let's give Iowa 6.
Let's give Iowa 6 there. Now we go Teskey against RBY. Your first reaction is, okay, RBY is going to get the major here. However, it can be very close.
Yeah.
RBY is not losing, that's for sure, but Teskey could wrestle a tough match and keep it to a regular decision. So let's go 6-3.
6-3 Iowa.
Now we go to 141, which is big. Woods against Bartlett. I talked about Bartlett, waiting for him to wrestle a Top Gun. Here is our chance.
Let's go, Bartlett.
Bartlett may win this.
What?
But you got to give the edge to Woods at this point.
Well, yeah.
At this point. So all of a sudden we're at 9-3.
9-3 Iowa.
We go to 49. Now we got Van Ness against Murin. I personally think Van Ness will beat Murin, but you can't pick Van Ness as the favorite here. You got to give Murin 3 points. All of a sudden it's 12-3. So now we go to 57 and Seabright against Levi. 3 points, Penn State. Do I need to say anything?
Hang on. Are we sure Levi's coming out?
No, we're not absolutely sure. We may find out today. If Levi wrestles today against Michigan State, the red shirt's off. We won't find out until Iowa, but I could be wrong. Levi's there. He's a contender.
Where is Levi?
Levi will probably raise from number 16 to somewhere around number 10 after that Lewan win. Believe me, Lewan, when you talk about who's going to win 157, Lewan's in that conversation. There's no doubt about it. He proved it last year, and he's going to be there. I could care less what his rank is. Anyway, I'm going 3 there. Yeah, we're at 12-6.
12-6.
Now you go Kennedy against Facundo. Now, after watching Facundo against Amin, a lot of people were going to say, you're crazy. I still think on paper, it's almost a pick 'em, but I think maybe the favored might be Kennedy. So let's go Kennedy with 3 there. Now I'm kind of going as this is what Iowa has to do to win. Kennedy has to beat Facundo. That's a big one. Woods has to beat Bartlett. Murin has to beat Van Ness. 3 very important matches. All of a sudden, 15-6.
And you're saying Facundo loses?
I'm saying that this is how Iowa's path to victory.
Do you think Facundo's going to lose?
No, I think it's going to be really close because Kennedy's tough. But Facundo has showed me something that last match. I
was so impressed.
Yeah.
Facundo, I call him Boomacundo because that boy, making moves out there on the mat. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay.
15-6. What's up next?
Now we go 74. We got Starachi against Brands. We'll just go 3 there, but that's one of the matches Iowa's got to keep from being a bonus point. 15-9. Then we got Brooks against Assad. Another 3 for Penn State. Another match Iowa's got to keep from being a bonus point thing. So we're at 15-12 going into them last 2 bouts, and both of them bouts are very, very close. So you can already see how Iowa has a path to possibly win this bout. Warner against Dean. Last year they had a match where really Dean had to come from behind to win that. Warner's looked bad at times, but Warner's tough. He's good. That match is going to be close. And if it's a case where Dean has to win, you're not telling me Penn State guys are going to be worried because it's going to be a close match.
We have to give the edge to Dean. We gave the edge to Iowa against Facundo.
So we'll say it's tied going into that.
Let's say 15-15 going into heavyweight.
Yeah.
What do we have happening in heavyweight? I say Kirk, he better not have the flu.
Cassiope beat Kirklevitt 3 times. And then at this year's All-Star Classic at the beginning of the year, Kirklevitt came out and 8-5 of them. It was a bigger difference than the score indicated, if you're asking me. Kirklevitt owned that match. I think he took him down 3 times. Kirklevitt obviously has to wrestle.
Maybe Cassiope had the flu. That That week. I'll tell you what. I guess we can play Cassiope and Kirklavie for the match.
Yeah, we can play that game. As you can see, this is going to be close. Now, on paper, I think you got to give Kirklavie the 3 for Penn State to win it by 3.
So you're going to say 18-15, Penn State pulls it out.
Yeah, but all Iowa has to do, in my mind, is they got to win them bouts I just said, and some of them are going to be tough. They got to avoid bonus points from RBY, Starace, and Brooks. That's going to be tough.
Yep.
And they got to win one of them last 2 bouts, and that's going to be tough. But all of them are doable. This match is going to be exciting. I can't wait.
I hope we see fireworks like Carter Starace did last week, putting that boy's leg to the ceiling.
That was good. I'll be nerved up, no doubt about it.
All right, any final thoughts?
My energy's down today. I don't know. Seriously, I don't know if I want to do morning anymore.
That's the opening.
Look, triple shot energy.
He didn't even finish it. You finished it.
Yeah, I didn't finish it. No wonder I'm sitting over here falling asleep.
A single shot.
Yeah, and this show put me to sleep. Dang, I didn't even have breakfast yet. But wow, let me think about
this Friday, Penn State, Iowa. Where's it at?
It's at Bryce Jordan Center, State College, baby. State College,
in State College, baby. This Friday, cannot wait.
Oh, it's gonna be fire.
Your final prediction, final score. We were throwing out what ifs earlier.
Yeah.
What do you actually think this match is gonna be?
I think Penn State will win it by. I'm going to say Penn State wins it by like 5. I think 2 of them bouts could be.
You're putting
bonus
over
points.
under at 5. You're saying Penn State -5.
Yes, I am.
The line is Penn State -5. That's a big number.
Well, in these matches, Bartlett, Woods, Murin, Van Ness of the Facundo Kennedy, them matches. Iowa has to win all 3. And will they win all 3? Remember, Kel has his guys up for the big matches. And you just can't, every time I forget to include that in my predictions. Like Penn State could win this by much more than 5. But Iowa could win it by 3 too.
I'll tell you what I think. Penn State by 1,000,000. Penn State by 1,000,000, baby.
Boom! This is BEG Wrestling.
Boom! We are here. You got anything else?
No.